What's up, guys? You're here with Goran from Pickdawgz, and thank you for joining me here for your free picks for Saturday, November 4th. We have a bunch of games, guys, all over Europe. We have some big ones. We have Der Klassiker in Germany between Borussia Dortmund and Bayern Munich. A couple of great games in Serie A as well. We have Sociedad against Barcelona in La Liga. We have some big matchups in the EPL as well. So stay tuned, guys. Get your free picks, and of course, in the end of this video, there is a parlay of the day once again. Last week we've hit both. We hit the one on Saturday, we hit the one on Sunday as well. So we had a great weekend, and we are aiming to do the same this weekend as well. For more free picks, of course, go up to the Pickdawgz YouTube channel, check it out. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit that like button, guys. And of course, feel free to check that soccer betting tools up on the sportchatplace.com. There is a link in the description of this video. When you go there, you can create your own parlay. You can get the profitable teams. You can get profitable goal scorers and such. So it's a quite a handy tool that you can check out and get some of the best bets for the weekend. For my best bets, click the link in the description. That will get you up to my page on the Pick Dawgz website. And there you can find my packages for the weekend. You can get a daily pass, 3-day pass, 7-day pass, or even a month-long pass if that's something you want to do. And I would say that the 7-day pass is probably your best bet right now because it will get you covered all the way through this weekend and all the way through the Champions League and the Europa League and the Conference League that we have going on next week. So get on board, guys, and let's win some money together. In this video, like I said, guys, I have about I think 20 free picks for you and that parlay at the end. So let's get this show on the road. As usual, we're gonna kick it off with the EPL, and we have Fulham versus Manchester United as the first game of the day in the EPL, 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, and Fulham has now been in a better form than Manchester United has, and they are undefeated in their last two games. They're not scoring a lot of goals. They are conceding quite consistently, while Manchester United is coming off of a loss, another one. This is their second home loss in a row. This time it was against Newcastle, also 3-0, and they haven't scored a goal in any of their last two games. Now, if Manchester United wants to get a positive result out of their Champions League game next week, they better get back on the winning track in this one. They are definitely due for a nice performance. And there has been a lot of criticism about this team, about the way Ten Hag has been doing the tactics and coaching this team and stuff like that. But I think that their issues are running much, much deeper than just what we see on the surface. And they have to do everything they can to step out of this losing streak. I'm sure there will be some shuffling in the lineup here. They will go for the win. And I cannot believe I'm doing this, but I'm gonna side with Manchester United on the money line in this one. The price is now plus 114. Hoping for a good game, guys. Hopefully they try to step it up. Hopefully they get their offense going, and hopefully we get a win in this one. So I'm gonna take Manchester United on the money line. Brentford is hosting West Ham, and they are actually pretty heavy favorites here at minus 106 right now. It was plus 102, but West Ham is coming off of an impressive win against Arsenal 3-1 in the Carabao Cup earlier this week, and that could potentially be a nice turning point for them, especially because they're playing uh, in the Europa League next week at home in a game where they definitely need a win. As far as Brentford goes, they are on a two-game winning streak right now, and during this two-game winning streak, they have kept a couple of clean sheets. Against Chelsea was the latest one, 2-0 on the road, and that will definitely be a huge confidence boost for this team. So in this one, both teams to score minus 150, I think that's the way to go because it could go either way in my opinion, but I think that both teams to score is likely to hit, and I'm gonna take it at minus 150. Burnley is hosting Crystal Palace in the next matchup, and you know what? Both teams are struggling quite a bit right now, but Burnley has been horrible so far this season. They are one of the worst teams in the league. They are on a four-game losing streak, five-game losing streak when playing at home, and they're still winless at home this season. If Burnley is gonna get a win against anyone, it's gonna be against Crystal Palace at home. This team has been so inconsistent. This is the team that has a bunch of injured players, and it's not that Burnley has been like super bad. Yes, they have been conceding a lot of goals, but they have been showing some stuff in that attacking end, and I think that they are more than capable of beating Crystal Palace here, and we are getting them at an amazing price. So I'm gonna risk it, and I'm gonna take Burnley on the money line at plus 200 in this one, and hope for the best. Everton is hosting Brighton in the next EPL matchup, and I think this one could be very interesting because Everton has now won three of their last four games. They have won four of their last six. They are coming off of a nice win against Burnley in the Carabao Cup 3-0. While Brighton has been all over the place so far this season, especially in EPL, they have been very inconsistent. They haven't won any of their last one, two, three, four games in the EPL, and whether they play at home or on the road, they're fairly unstable. They are also playing against Ajax in the Europa League next week, and they might already be thinking about that game ahead. So this potentially could be a chance for Everton to get something out of this game. So I'm gonna take both teams to score an over 2.5 in this one, minus 143. I just can't imagine this game going under 2.5, guys, because I think that both teams will go for the win here, especially Everton at home. So both teams to score and over 2.5 goals. Manchester City is hosting Bournemouth, and as we can see, Manchester City is a massive favorite. They are on a three-game winning streak right now. Each of their last three games have gone over 2.5 goals. They have conceded two goals in those three games. They've kept a one clean sheet against Manchester United, but Bournemouth on the other side has been scoring goals quite consistently. They have scored at least a goal in each of their last three games, and each of their last four games, actually 5 games, have gone over 2.5 goals as well. So goals are something that both teams are doing right now quite consistently. And the only value we could find in this game is over 1.5 goals in the first half at minus 127. Sheffield is hosting Wolverhampton, and Sheffield hasn't won any of their last 12 games. They are still without a single win so far this season. They are at the bottom of the table with only 1 point, and unless something drastically changes for Sheffield, I think that they will be one of the teams who will be getting relegated simply because they do not have the quality. They are missing a bunch of players right now because of the injuries and suspensions as well. And on the other side, we have Wolverhampton, who has been raising their form quite high. They are undefeated in their last four games, and we are getting a great price on Wolverhampton on the money line. So I'm going to take Wolverhampton at minus 106. For as long as Sheffield is winless, we have to keep fading them because I have zero faith in them, whether they play at home or on the road. And this is a great opportunity for Wolverhampton to get another win. So I'm gonna take Wolverhampton on the money line. And the last game of the day in the EPL is the derby between Newcastle and Arsenal. Arsenal suffered a horrible loss against West Ham in the Carabao Cup 3-1 on the road. While Newcastle is coming off of an impressive win against Manchester United 3-0, and they seem to be getting some consistency in their form, but this is not going to be an easy game, especially because Newcastle is missing a ton of players right now. Matt Target is out, Fabian Schär is out as well, Jacob Murphy is out, Alexander Isak is out. We know that Tonali got suspended, Sven Botman is out as well, Harvey Barnes is out as well. And all of these injuries in the combination with Newcastle playing in the Champions League against Borussia Dortmund next week, this is a great opportunity for Arsenal, who has much more depth right now to get a win and get back on the winning track. So I think it's going to be a fun game to watch. I would give a slight advantage to Arsenal on the road. But even with all the injuries they have, Newcastle is more than capable of scoring a goal at home. So over 2.5 at minus 108, I think that's an insanely good of a price. And this is the price we simply cannot afford to miss. And I will gladly take the over 2.5 in this great matchup any day of the week. So Newcastle against Arsenal over 2.5 goals. Off to La Liga, guys. We have Osasuna playing against Girona, and I think this is gonna be a battle, and it's gonna be a big one. I think it's gonna be an all-out war between two teams that have been doing a decent job this season. Girona has been doing a great job, I gotta say. They are on a four-game winning streak right now. They did get a win against San Roque in Copa del Rey earlier this week. They have beaten Celta Vigo with a last-minute goal last week in La Liga. And they're in second place right now with 28 points. They're having an outstanding season, and they definitely deserve to be the favorites in this game. As far as Osuna goes, they have been solid as well. They are in the 11th place. They did lose their last game against Betis, but at home they have been quite solid this season, and they are very, very hard to beat. One advantage I could see for Osasuna is the fact that Girona is missing a few players because of the injuries, and that could reduce their depth. But with the amount of offense Girona has shown us this season, they have. Uh, I'm honestly not sure that Osasuna can outscore them, so they will need to resource to some alternative tactics, let's call them like that, and that will be a little bit of a rough soccer on their part. So I could expect uh, a bit of a rough game here, a bit of a battle, like I said, and over 5.5 cards at plus 100. I think that that's a great pick for this game because I think this one will get a little bit rough. So Osasuna versus Girona over 5.5 cards. Celta Vigo and Sevilla is the next matchup in La Liga that we have, guys. And if these two teams have shown us anything this season, is the fact that they can keep a clean sheet. Sevilla is coming off of a win in the Copa del Rey 3-0, but before that, they have conceded at least a goal in each of their last 5 games. They have scored goals as well, and Celta Vigo is also coming off of a win, but they have conceded a ton of goals this season already. So both teams to score minus 134, keeping it simple, guys. Whether it goes over 2.5 or not, I don't care, but I definitely see at least a goal on each side in this matchup between Celta Vigo and Sevilla. Real Sociedad and Barcelona is the last game of the day we have in La Liga, and I think it's going to be a good one. Barcelona still undefeated on the road this season. Real Sociedad undefeated at home. We know that Barcelona had a lead in El Clasico last week, 1-0, but then they ended up conceding a couple of goals in the second half and ended up losing that game 2-1. And they have now conceded at least a goal in each of their last 2 games. Now, I think that Barcelona will try to secure the Champions League spot in the knockouts next week against Shakhtar. They are playing on the road, but they need to go through Real Sociedad here first, who has been in an excellent form so far this season. They have scored 20 goals in 11 games. Barcelona has 23 goals in 11 games, and I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna go with another both teams to score in this one, and it's minus 137. Uh, I think that Barcelona could get a win out of this game, but I don't think it's going to be by keeping a clean sheet. So Real Sociedad against Barcelona, both teams to score. In German Bundesliga, we have a few interesting matchups here, guys, and we're going to kick it off with Köln versus Augsburg. Now, I'm going to keep this one very, very simple, guys. Two teams with very bad defenses, two teams that are more than capable of scoring goals, and I think this is going to be a game where both teams will go for it, especially Köln at home. So both teams to score an over 2.5, minus 127. I think that's the way to go with this one. And the price is actually pretty solid. I might even put it in a double with something else, but as a single, both teams to score an over 2.5. I'm gonna take it. Union Berlin will be looking to snap their massive losing streak against Eintracht, and I'm not gonna lie, I do not like their chances. Union Berlin has now lost their last 11 or 12 games in a row, and I've been trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, hoping they will bounce back, but they are simply, I don't know, something happened to this team, and there's no light at the end of the tunnel right now. Can they get a win against Eintracht? I think they can. I think that they have a good enough of a team to do so. But uh, Eintracht on the other side is now undefeated in their last 4 games. They have lost only one of their last six. They're coming off of a win in the DFB Pokal. Yeah, they got a 3-3 draw against Borussia Dortmund last week. And I don't think that they deserve to be the underdogs that they are in this game. I think that Eintracht should be a slight favorite, but is Union Berlin a due for a nice performance? They definitely are. That is the only reason why I'm not going to side with Eintracht in this one. Instead, I'm going to go with the draw at plus 225. Honestly, I would just skip this game until Union Berlin gets a little bit more stable. And even then, it would take a lot for me to side with Union Berlin again. So I'm gonna go with the draw in this one at plus 225. Mainz is hosting RB Leipzig in the next matchup, and I'm gonna keep this one very, very simple. Mainz is at the bottom of the table. They haven't won any of their last 10 games. They are conceding a ton of goals. They are struggling with scoring, But they could definitely get on the scoreboard at home against Leipzig here, who has been known to concede goals when playing on the road. So uh, keeping it fairly simple, guys. Leipzig to win at over 2.5 goals at plus 104. I love the price. I love the pick, and I'm gonna take it because I expect Leipzig to try and bounce back after that loss in the DFB Pokal earlier this week. So Leipzig to win and over 2.5 goals at plus 104 against Mainz. Freiburg and Borussia Mönchengladbach is the next matchup, and this one, at least to me, guys, keeping it simple. The last two games between these two teams have ended in a nil-nil draw. I simply do not see it happening twice, especially because Gladbach has been scoring goals consistently. They are on a two-game winning streak, while Freiburg is on a two-game losing streak. Now, uh, the last four games, five, 6 games for Freiburg have gone over 2.5. Five of those six have gone both teams to score at over 2.5. As far as Gladbach goes, their last 5 games have gone both teams to score at over 2.5. And for as long as we are getting these goals in the games that these two teams are playing, I'm going to take it once again here. So both teams to score at over 2.5, minus 122. I think that's an outstanding price, and we simply have to take this one, guys. Hoffenheim and Bayer Leverkusen is this big matchup on Saturday, and Leverkusen is on a huge winning streak. They are still undefeated on the road this season. They are leading Bundesliga right now with 25 points, but Hoffenheim has also been one of those teams that have been in great form, that the teams that have been scoring a lot of goals this season. And Hoffenheim is averaging over two scored goals per game overall this season. And they are actually playing slightly better on the road than they are at home. And that is potentially a great opportunity for Bayer Leverkusen to get another win. And when we have a matchup with two teams scoring a lot of goals, uh, we can see that the goals are expected. Minus 315 on over 2.5, which is going to be uh, probably the case. We're going to see at least 3 goals, if not more, in this game. And for that reason, I'm gonna go with over 1.5 goals in the first half, which is minus 120. You can kind of tell the books are expecting it. Otherwise, it would be a lot closer to the plus money, possibly even more. But minus 120, I think that these teams will start early, and I think we see at least a couple of goals in the first half. And the last game of the day in Bundesliga is between Borussia Dortmund and Bayern Munich, their Klassiker, the biggest matchup in German Bundesliga. And we have two teams in great form, especially Borussia Dortmund, who is undefeated at home in a long time. Let me just look that up real quick. Borussia Dortmund hasn't lost any of their last 11 or 12 or even more games at home. And they are catching Bayern Munich right now after a loss. And Bayern Munich got knocked out of the DFB Pokal against Saarbrücken, who is the team from the German third division, if I'm not mistaken. They conceded a late goal for 2-1. And it was certainly a highly disappointing result for Bayern Munich, but that doesn't mean that they will just let Borussia Dortmund have a win out of this game. So, as we can see, Bayern Munich is still a pretty heavy favorite, but if Borussia Dortmund is going to get a win or a positive result against Bayern Munich, it's going to be at home and it's going to be in this game. Bayern Munich also lost De Ligt for this game, who suffered an injury in that DFB Pokal loss, and it's not only him; they're missing Joshua Kimmich as well, who suffered an injury, and there will be a bit of a hole in that midfield without Kimmich for Bayern Munich. And like I said, this is the chance for Borussia Dortmund to keep their home fortress alive. And I'm going to take Borussia Dortmund on the double chance. The price is plus 102. Nice plus money on the pick that's going to get us covered with 2 out of possible 3 outcomes. I think Borussia has what it takes to get a positive result out of this game, and I definitely think they will go for it. I think that they will approach this game a little bit more cautiously, and I think that they can get at least a draw out of this game. So, the Klassiker Borussia Dortmund versus Bayern Munich. I'm gonna take Borussia Dortmund on the double chance. In the Italian Serie A, guys, we have Salernitana playing against Napoli, and you know what? Salernitana might be coming off of a nice win against Sampdoria in Coppa Italia, but it's Napoli who's been the better team here. The Napoli who's been scoring more goals, and Salernitana in Serie A is at the bottom of the table with only 4 points so far this season. So Keeping it fairly simple, guys. Taking Napoli to win and over 2.5, -109. I think it's a great price, and I definitely think it's worth taking. Atalanta and Inter is the next big matchup we have in the Italian Serie A, and two teams playing pretty solid football right now. Atalanta are defeated at home so far this season. Inter has been perfect on the road with 4 wins out of 4 games, and we have seen all kinds of results in this matchup. But Atalanta hasn't won any of their last 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 games against Inter, and that is not an encouraging result, to be honest. But I feel that Atalanta has a decent chance in this game, especially because Inter is playing next week in the Champions League against Salzburg, and that's a game where they need a win. If they lose that game, they are complicating their chances of qualifying for the knockouts, and that's not something they want. So I think this game is going to be mostly focused on defense from both sides. So I'm gonna go with the first half draw at plus 128. Uh, I think that the books are kind of expecting it. They are being cautious as well. I honestly think it's a coin flip game. I think that Atalanta could get a win out of this one. I also think that Inter has whatever it takes to get a win out of this one on the road to keep their nice winning streak alive. But if anything is going to happen, I think it's going to happen in the second half. Milan and Udinese is the last game of the day is Serie A, and you know what? Milan is now without a win in their last 3 games. Sure, they were on a 2-game losing streak, but they did get a draw against Napoli last week, and that was after they were leading 2-0. Napoli came back and scored a couple of goals in the second half. But the biggest problem for Milan is right now that they're playing in the Champions League against PSG next week, and that's a game they simply have to win. I'm not sure they can do it. They are missing a bunch of defenders. They are not as effective in that attack again, and that potentially is a great opportunity for Udinese, who is still winless on the road, but uh, Udinese has been scoring goals quite consistently in this matchup, and they have scored at least once in their last 6 games against Milan. Sure, they haven't won any of their last 12 games. They have not beaten Milan on the road in a long time. I'm not saying they will beat them here, but I think that Udinese can score a goal. So, both teams to score -109. I think that's going to be my pick for this one, and I think it's going to be a nice hit for us. The last single pick of this video is in the French League One between Marseille and Lille. We know that Marseille's game against Lyon last week got postponed because fans did some horrible things. They sent Lyon's coach to the doctor to get stitches on his head and whatever. Something bad happened. The game got postponed, and now they have to face Lyon, not Lyon. They have to face Lille at home, the team that's on a 3-game winning streak, the team that's been playing outstanding football as of late, and the team that has been scoring goals quite consistently. Now, Lille at home and Lille on the road are two different teams. I agree, but Marseille hasn't played a game in over a week now. That should give them the rest advantage over Lille. But I don't think that their defense is good enough to stop Lille. So I'm going to go with both teams to score in this one at -139. I think it should be an exciting game. I'm not sure if it's going to be played at an empty stadium or not. I'm not sure what happened with the sanctions against Marseille, but we'll see about that. And if it's going to be played with an empty stands, that's going to be another advantage for Lille in this game. So Marseille versus Lille, both teams to score. And now we are off to the parlay of the day, guys. I have a 5-legger for you for Saturday. I have Newcastle versus Arsenal over 1.5 goals, Marseille versus Lille over 1.5 goals. I'm going to take Leipzig team total over 1.5 goals against Mainz. I'm going to take Freiburg versus Borussia Mönchengladbach over 2.5 goals. And I'm going to take Napoli on the money line against Salernitana. Now, this 5-leg parlay pays out at plus 457. We've hit the last two guys. Hopefully, we can keep the winning streak alive, get a third one in a row. This one is a little bit higher paying than the last two were, but I definitely like it. I'm gonna go with the whole unit on it. You bet as much as you can, guys. Be careful. It is a 5-leg parlay after all. And let's all have a great day, guys. So Newcastle Arsenal over 1.5. Marseille versus Lille over 1.5. Leipzig team total over 1.5 goals. Freiburg versus Gladbach over 2.5 goals, and Napoli on the money line. That's it, everyone. Thank you for joining me here. These were free picks for Saturday. I hope you have a great day, guys. Good luck with all of your bets, and stay tuned for more free picks coming up soon.